Hello students, I am Dr. Meenakshi Mahur, Assistant Professor, Zoology, Sri Savliaji Government College, Manfia, Chittorgarh. Today I am going to discuss classification of class AVs. It's a part first of the classification of class AVs. First of all, I would summarize what are the basic characteristics or distinguishing features of birds. Birds are bipedal feathered animals. Their body is divided into head, neck, and trunk. The head comprises of beak, patch of fleshy skin, ear holes, nostrils, and eyes. And neck may be mobile or long, but neck may be small or long, but always neck is mobile because it helps in its perching mechanism. The trunk is divisible into thorax and abdomen. In the thorax, four limbs are modified into wings, which are essential for flight. The abdomen has hind limbs, which are long and stout, bearing usually four or three or rarely two toes. They show bipedal locomotion, and the hind limbs are adapted for perching. All birds have scales on their legs. The abdomen comprises of a cloacal aperture which is present posteriorly. The uropygium, the tail, is usually short, and uropygeal gland, that is oil gland, is generally present on the dorsal surface of the tail. So these are some basic characteristics of birds. Birds show less diversification than any other group of vertebrate animals. About 9,000 living species of birds are known at present. Now, the class EVs is divided into two subclasses. First is Archaeornithis and the second is Neornithis. Archaeornithis has only one order, that is Archaeopterygiformes, and the Neornithis have four superorders. So four superorders are Odognathi, Paleognathi, Impani, and Neognathi. The superorder Odognathi has two orders. First order is Hesperonthiformes and the order second is Ichthyanthiformes. Then superorder 2, that is Paleognathi, has seven orders. So first is Struthionoformes, order 2 is Rheoformes, order 3 is Causeriformes, order 4 is Apterygiformes, order 5 is Dianothiformes, order 6 is Aparanthiformes, and order 7 is Tinamyformes. Then superorder Impani has only one order, that is Inspansiiformes. The superorder 4 Neognathi has 22 orders. First is Caviformes, second is Podicipediformes, third is Procellariformes, order 4 is the Pelaciniformes, order 5 is Ciconiformes, order 6 is Anseriformes, order 7 is Falconiformes, order 8 is Galliformes, order 9 is the Gruiformes, order 10 is the Diatribiformes, order 11 is the Caladiformes, order 12 is the Columbiformes, order 13 is the Psittaciformes, order 14 is the Cuculiformes, order 15 is the Strigiformes, order 16 is the Caprimulgiformes, order 17 is Apodiformes, order 18 is the Coliformes, order 19 is Trogoniformes, order 20 is Coraciformes, order 21 is the Pisciformes, and the last order 22 is Passeriformis. Yeah, it is a very large superorder, that is Neognathae. So, two classes, Archaeognathes and the Neognathes. So, Archaeognathes, in Greek, archaeos means ancient and ornithos means bird. So, Archaeognathes shows that they are ancient birds. Actually, they are Mesozoic ancestral or lizard birds with long tail and teeth in both the jaws. They are extinct. Uh, their wings are primitive and they show very little power of flight. These birds got extinct, but they were alive in a Mesozoic era. And the most especially Jurassic birds of Mesozoic age is about 155 million years ago. These birds had long tail which is tapering with more than 30 vertebrae. They were more like lizard and they beared two lateral rows of rectrices. Their hand had three unfused and clawed fingers. His skull was with teeth in both the jaws and embedded in sockets, that is the alveoli. In them, vertebrae was amphicoelous and tail was with 18 to 20 free caudal vertebrae and without pygostyle. So pygostyle was absent. In them, sternum was without keel. But in modern bird, you can see sternum is with keel. Carpals and the metacarpals are free in ancient birds. The free finger of forelimb and with claws. Thoracic ribs was slender and it was without uncinate process. Abdominal ribs were present. Cerebellum was small. Thecodont teeth can be seen in them. So these are the basic characteristics of Archaeognathes. It has only one order, that is Archaeopterygiformes. Example of Archaeopterygiformes is a Archaeopteryx lithographica. It is from Jurassic of Bavaria, that is Germany, and it has one specimen which is lying in the British Museum, London. The other specimen is lying in a Berlin museum which is situated in the Berlin. Archaeopteryx is also known as a connecting link between a reptile and bird. So these are some characteristics of Archaeonycthoris, which the best example to represent Archaeonycthoris is Archaeopteryx, which is a connecting link between a reptile and birds. So the gap between reptile and bird, the actual reptilian ancestor of birds is yet to be filled. But the Mesozoic was the period of great adaptive radiation for various groups of reptiles, and especially the diapsid archosaurians or ruling reptiles. And so this is all about Archaeopteryx, but I would like to describe some more about Archaeopteryx. Actually, Archaeopteryx had a reptilian characters like scales were present on the body and limbs, bones were not pneumatic, the strong jaws were provided with homodont, peg-like teeth which is lodged in a sockets, a long tapering lizard-like tail which is composed of about 20 free caudal vertebrae and no pygosteroid, and the cervical vertebrae are fewer, that is 9 or 10 than any other bird. No fusion of trunk or sacral vertebrae, and the center of vertebra are amphicoelous, which is more like sphenodon. Carpals and metacarpals are free, no fused carpometacarpus. So these were the reptilian characteristics of Archaeopteryx. Now, avian characters of Archaeopteryx are like body covering of well-developed contour and flight feather. Forelimbs get modified as a wing for flight, bearing remiges and the three digits each. Tail bears elongated rectrices, which are arranged in two lateral rows. Skull is large monocondylic with a large round brain case, large orbits, and intimate fusion of bones. Tibia and fibula are separate, and sclerotic ossicles are present in eyes. So, Archaeopteryx has so many significant characters because it exhibited both reptilian and avian character. So, in next lecture, I will discuss about Neornithis, which is the another subclass of aves, which comprises of four super orders. So today, I discussed some basic characteristics or distinguishing features of birds, then classification, then subclasses of class aves are Archaeopteryx and Neornithis, and today I discussed subclass Archaeopteryx, and the next lecture I will discuss about Neornithis. Thank you.